So what if you could have a perfect employee working for you 24/7 who never misses a single lead? Well, that's pretty much the promise of GoHighLevel's Workflow Builder. Now, I know it can feel a little intimidating when you first open it up, but today we're going to break it all down. We're going to show you exactly how to automate your follow-ups so you never let a potential customer go cold again.
Okay, picture this. Your ads are finally working, your website forms are on fire, and the leads are just pouring in. I mean, it's a great problem to have, right? But that initial excitement, it can turn into pure anxiety really fast when you realize you have to manually contact every single person, and you have to do it instantly.
And this is where automation just swoops in to save the day. Just imagine every new lead getting an instant, personalized email and text message, no matter what time it is, even if it's 2 a.m. You know, this isn't just about saving time. It's about making a perfect first impression and making sure no lead ever feels ignored.
So let's just call this what it is. It's the follow-up problem. It's the absolute chaos of trying to manage leads by hand, and honestly, it's costing you opportunities. So today, let's solve it.
And look, if you've ever opened the Workflow Builder and just felt a little lost, you are definitely not alone. As Jason Whaling puts it, it's a classic case of power versus simplicity. Think about it. Trello is simple. It's structured. You know what to do. Notion, on the other hand, is this giant blank page with infinite possibilities. GoHighLevel workflows, they're like Notion. They're incredibly powerful, but you gotta know how to approach them.
Let's break this whole thing down into two super simple parts. First up, we have the trigger. The easiest way to think about this is as the "if this happens" part of any automation. It's basically the starting gun.
Yep, a trigger is the spark. A customer does something, takes some kind of action, and boom, your automated sequence just springs to life. And these triggers can be all sorts of things that your customers are probably already doing. You know, submitting a form on your site, booking a meeting, sending you a DM, or even making a payment. For those of you who are a bit more advanced, this could even be a custom webhook firing from another app. The point is, each one of these is a golden opportunity to start an automated conversation.
Okay, so a trigger fires. What happens next? Well, this brings us to the second part of the equation, the action. This is the then do this part, where the system actually gets to work for you.
So an action is the response. It's the email that gets sent, the text message that goes out, or the internal task that GoHighLevel just handles for you automatically. No fuss.
And the range of actions you can take here is huge. Of course, you can send communications like emails and texts, but what's really powerful is how you can organize your business on the inside, like automatically adding a tag to a contact, creating a sales opportunity in your pipeline, or even just pinging a specific team member to let them know they need to follow up.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, putting it all together. Let's actually walk through building a simple but really foundational workflow that you can set up today. I promise, this one thing can make a huge impact on your business.
Okay, let's break this down. First, the trigger. Someone fills out your contact form. The moment they hit submit, two things happen instantly. One, an automated welcome email goes out confirming you got their info. Two, an opportunity card is created in your sales pipeline so your team knows about the new lead right away. Then we add a little wait step, say 5 minutes, just long enough to feel natural. After that pause, a personalized SMS goes out. This simple little sequence makes sure both the customer and your team are on the same page. Instantly. It's beautiful.
Now, when it comes to actually sending those emails and texts, you do have a choice. You can use GoHighLevel's built-in system, Lead Connector, which works right out of the box with literally zero setup. It's perfect for getting started fast. Or, if you need more control as you grow, you can connect an external service like Mailgun or Twilio. That gives you more advanced control over things like analytics and deliverability.
And that brings us to a really crucial point from It's Keaton. Please do not feel like you have to build this massive, complex, super system on day one. Here's the key insight. Your very first automation isn't about saving time. It's about proving the concept to yourself. Just nail one simple sequence, see it work, and I promise you, you will unlock the confidence to automate your entire business. So that simple automation is already really powerful, but the real magic, the fun part, begins when you start to get smarter. What if you could automatically treat different kinds of leads differently, all without any manual work? This is a question every single business faces. I mean, it's great to automate your follow-up, but you probably don't want to send your best sales pitch or a link to book a consultation to someone who just isn't a good fit. So how do you handle that automatically? This is where the power of conditional logic comes in, using something called an if-else branch. Let's say your form asks for the person's company revenue. The workflow can actually check their answer.
So if the revenue is over $1 million, they go down the yes path and get an email with a link to book a high-priority call. But if not, they go down the no path and get added to a totally separate nurture workflow where they'll just receive helpful content. It's the same trigger, but two completely different, totally automated journeys.
So let's just recap the big takeaways here. First, think of automation as your best employee, the one that works 24/7. Second, remember that every single workflow is built on that simple if-then logic we talked about. And third, maybe the most important rule of all, your first win isn't about complexity, it's about proof. Start small, prove the concept to yourself, and then you can build smarter by adding powerful layers by conditional logic.
And that really brings us to the end. I just want to leave you with this one question to think about. As you look at your own daily grind, what is the very first repetitive manual task that you could just hand over to a workflow? Because the answer to that question, that's your perfect starting point.